Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Another customer who supposedly knows the owner was caught by our OP in the first story. Well, this time he also had the opportunity to meet the owner. So before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Name dropper gets fooled. My first service industry job was at a seasonal resort on a lake. I started as a lunch server and dinnertime busser, but was quickly moved to tending bar midway through the summer. The resort is family-owned and operated since the 1960s and was at the time run by 3 siblings, 2 brothers, and their sister. This resort is in a state that allows the sale of alcoholic beverages to go. So a lot of people came in off their boats to grab cocktails and head back out on the lake. All to-go beverages are served in 16-ounce plastic cups. What a lot of people fail to realize is that not all beverages are served in 16-ounce portions. Our famous daiquiris, for instance, are served in an 8-ounce glass, so a lot of people complained when their to-go daiquiris didn't fill up the entire cup. One day, a man came in for a round of daiquiris to go, which I made in their proper proportions. He was not happy about the beverages only filling up half the cup. He went borderline ballistic, which I responded to in a way that our management had instructed us to, by explaining how the daiquiris are served in the restaurant and offering him doubles if he wanted them to fill the to-go cup. He didn't like that. He proceeded to name drop one of the owners. Let's call him Steve, saying that he was going to have words with Steve about this experience. Steve ran the resort as a whole, while his siblings, we'll call them Tom and Pam, ran specific departments. Well, after this guy's tirade, he's gathering his beverages to leave, and around the corner walks one of the owners, to which this guy says, "Hi, Tom, good to see you," and shakes his hand. The owner says, "Good to see you too," and moves along. But what this doofus didn't realize is the guy he just addressed as Tom was actually Steve, the one he said he was so close with and he was going to talk to about his experience. The lengths that people will go to get preferential treatment has never ceased to astound me. And our second story. Entitled lady always gets bad salads. This story belongs to my wife, Emily, who's a deli manager in a major regional grocery store in our area. She runs a tight ship and likes to keep things clean and up to date. So imagine her surprise when a customer, let's call her Entitled Lady, reports that 8 out of 8 box salads, think macaroni salad, potato salad, that sort of thing, she just bought were all bad. Entitled Lady: "I just bought these 8 salads and every single one of them was spoiled and inedible." Emily: "I'm sorry to hear that. It surprises me. Do you have them with you? I'll be happy to exchange them." Entitled Lady: "No, I threw them away, but I have the receipt." Emily looks over the receipt. It's recent, like a day or 2 old, and all in order. Against her better judgment, she errs on the side of good customer service and replaces the 8 salads just on the basis of the receipt. That was Monday. Come Wednesday, Emily's working on the fryer when she hears a familiar voice telling one of her team, "I just bought these 8 salads and every single one of them was spoiled and inedible." Emily steps forward and says, "I got this." And the Entitled Lady does not look pleased to see my wife again. "So, still all bad? Did you bring the salads back with you to exchange?" Entitled Lady: "No, they're too disgusting. I threw them all away, but I have the receipt." Emily: "The trouble with that is that I can't send your receipt back to my vendor for credit on the bad salads. I need the salads to do an exchange." Entitled Lady: "You didn't do that last time." Emily: "Actually, I did, but I took you at your face value and ate at that time. That's not something I'm inclined to do again." Entitled Lady, starting to rise like a cobra ready to strike: "How dare you address me like that? Don't you know how good a customer I am to this store? I want to talk to the manager." Emily: "Well, sweetie, that'd be me. No spoiled salad to exchange, no exchange." At that, Entitled Lady storms off in a huff. Emily checks with the rest of her team. It becomes clear that at least twice in the last week, the Entitled Lady had hit the deli during their busiest times and gotten new salads without having brought back the purportedly bad ones. That's at least 24 free salads over the last couple weeks. Right about then, busy store director comes storming over with the Entitled Lady in tow, What's this I hear about you insulting our customers, Emily? Emily: Well, did she tell you, busy store director, how I refuse to exchange a product that she doesn't have? Or that over the last 2 weeks, she is the only person to complain that any of our salads are bad? And oddly enough, every single one she got from here was bad? Or that we already gave her dozens of free salads and that's more than enough generosity for one deli? I'm not saying she's scamming us, sir, but if she doesn't bring the spoiled salad back with her to exchange, there will be no more exchanges. Busy store director: I see, as you were. Then to the entitled lady: You're lucky I don't ban you from the store for this behavior. The entitled lady realizes she won't get any further today and sulks away. Emily makes sure to train everyone on her team to require the old product be returned for any exchanges. A couple days later, she's coming out of the cooler when she hears a familiar voice: I bought these 8 salads the other day and every single one of them was bad. It's a different worker who wasn't there the last time. Different worker: Did you bring them back with you to exchange? Entitled lady: No, they were gross. I threw them all away. Different worker: I can't exchange them unless you bring them back. Emily smiles. Entitled lady: Not even just this once. It's an honest mistake. Emily steps out into full view. Not even just this 10th time? Now get out of my deli and don't ever come back. The entitled lady fled and was never seen in those parts again. How do these people have no shame? And our next story. The former hostess got a taste. Our former hostess lead has moved on to serving. We have 2 sections of the restaurant: the tap room, which is more casual, and the main restaurant, which is more upscale. Well, she's done a good job in the tap room, so she's been brought over to the upscale side. But with that promotion comes a whole new list of expectations and responsibilities. Service requires a lot more attention to detail. There are more steps of service throughout the entire dining experience. You get it. Well, she found herself double sat at a really bad time and got in the weeds a bit. The thing is that when she was the hostess lead, she would absolutely destroy me with tables. I'm talking excessively double seating with zero communication whatsoever. Would just load up my whole section in a minute and hope for the best. And on weekends, before COVID, we would open a private dining area, separate from the main restaurant, that I would serve by myself. It had 9 tables and could fit about 30 to 40 people. She would oftentimes send 3 hostesses in back to back to back and triple seat me in the amount of time it took for me to get a drink order from a table I already had in there. So I took a little joy in watching her curse the hostesses for doubling her up. It was a bit of justice I didn't know I needed to see. She and I are friends, so I had to remind her how she used to seat me when she was in their position, and her apology to me was one of the best I've ever received in my life. She's a very good server who'll do great in her new role, but it isn't horrible to see her get a taste of her own medicine. Getting a little taste and experiencing some discomfort will be helpful in her service growth. You sound like a thoughtful friend and coworker. And our last story. You can't leave this ugly thing in my parking spot. Okay, sure. So every year my family goes down to the beach for a week for our summer vacation. One year, right after my dad got a new job, he couldn't take off for the entire week and could only be there for the very beginning and end of our usually scheduled trip. Not wanting my mom and I to be stranded at our condo all week without a car, he usually drove us down in his truck and we'd use that to get around. He hitched up his flatbed trailer and we towed my mom's car down with us, rather than wasting the extra money in gas. Once we got down to our condo on Saturday, we unloaded my mom's car, parked it in the garage, and took the trailer off the truck and parked it on the street at the end of the row of condos. There was no reason for my dad to haul the trailer all the way back home with him. Fast forward to Tuesday. My mom and I are getting ready to walk down to the beach when we notice a cop car at the end of the street near where we parked the trailer. My mom went to go investigate, and it turns out the lady who owned the condo at the end of the street called the cops on our trailer. Her reasoning was, it was parked in her street spot. It was also ugly. Dude, it's a trailer. Now each condo had a garage and no designated on-street parking, and the cop knew as much. The trailer had its tags and everything was up to date, so there's no reason to tow the trailer. The lady comes back saying, "But my grandbabies could get hurt playing on it." The cop, my mom, and I are dumbfounded. Why are you letting the kids play on something that's someone else's property? It was like she was letting these kids jump around on someone's car and saying it was in her spot so she could do what she wanted. My mom told the cop and the crazy lady that we would be moving the trailer, but it wouldn't be able to go until Thursday night when my dad got back, since we only had a small Volvo and no way to move it ourselves. Crazy lady wanted the trailer moved now, but the cop intervened and said we were being generous since we were parked legally in the first place and had no reason to move. Crazy lady relented, and my mom and I spent the rest of the day on the beach. Now it's Thursday night, and Dad is driven all the way to the beach right after work and goes to move the trailer. Even though it's dark, we can easily see the sandy footprints left by Crazy Lady's grandbabies, as well as multiple bags of trash. Lovely. My dad was unamused. He cleaned off the trailer, hooked it up to the truck, and moved it to an empty spot directly across the street. He then promptly parked his big old truck where the trailer used to be, and there it stayed until we left on Saturday. That's the kind of thing you get mad about after 3 weeks, not 3 hours. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.